Good morning, gladiators. We who are about to play, salute you! Hey everybody, welcome to another Ollie Plays. This morning we're playing Swords and Sandals Crusader, which is a very special entry into the Swords and Sandals canon because it's the first game that actually steps out of the arena and into the wider world of Tritonia itself, and more specifically the continent of Brandor, which is thrust into war when Antares decides to invade. This game was made in, believe it or not, 2007, so quite a number of years ago when I was much younger and more fresh-faced. I wish I had a webcam back then, hey? It's a game that had been kicking around in my head for many more years than that, though, because it combines a couple of my favorite games and adds a few new interesting ideas. It's a game that was very well received at the time and people seemed to love it. Having a few extra different game modes like survival and conquer the realm and things gave it a lot more longevity once the campaign was finished, and I think it was just one of the more ambitious flash games out there at the time. These days indie games are much bigger than what you see here, but back in 2007 you didn't see that many solo developer games of this kind of complexity and size, certainly not in the online game market. It took me about 6 months to make, working full-time at the old company, and I did all the art, all the music, all the programming, all the writing, everything, so it really was a true labor of love, and it remains to this day one of my favorites. So what you hear in the background is actually the Swords and Sandals theme song, the instrumental version. It never was released with the game, but I'm actually going to put a link to it after this to my SoundCloud account. If you would like to check it out there, you may want to. Alright, without further ado, let's get into the game. Crusader! Yeah, I recorded the theme to that as well. I actually did most of the music for the early Swords and Sandals games, recorded on a Casio keyboard using a bit of software called Acid Pro, where I would record all the instrumentals for the strings, the trumpets and so on, and then I'd use about 8 tracks for the harmonies for the Swords and Sandals in a Queen-style harmony without any other talent, as I'm so fond of saying, but love the band. Alright, let's get into it. So we've got survival, quick battle, conquer the realm, and campaign. Just for today, I'm just using the demo version, the online version on egames.com, which you can go check out if you like. I would have used the full version, but for some reason it's just playing up on my computer. Okay, campaign. Let's load a campaign. The Lion of Phaetor. With a mighty blow, the Emperor Antares was slain. The impossible had become the possible. A man, a gladiator without fear, slew the dark tyrant 2 years ago to this day. With his defeat, the Colosseum collapsed into ruin in the dark land of Eldohath. It's scrolling a bit too quick for me. Anyway, that basically sets the scene. We start off with King Lionel in the Kingdom of Phaetor, which is the capital of Brandor. Chapter 1, Lion of Phaetor. Rumors about the growing darkness in the south means it soon may be time to raise a mighty army to defend kingdom lands. 200 gold pieces in your treasury should see it done, but beware the Roman barbarian hordes from the frozen north. Raise 200 gold pieces for your treasury. Easy done. So this is a tactical war game where you have a king or a warlord and you have to raise armies and conquer provinces. When you roll over a province, it shows you a little bit about it, how much gold, what kind of land it is, who owns it. It tells you the mission, how much gold you have, and so on. And it shows your enemy. Now, if this seems familiar to you, it's because it's inspired by a game called Defender of the Crown, which is a wonderful game from the 80s, made by a company called Cinemaware, who were just, they were great. They did some really top-notch strategy games and adventure games back in the day, and this was one of their most beloved. It was a game where you choose one of 4 English lords and try to conquer Britain, and the overland map behaves a lot the same. Various provinces you'd claim, and I took that idea and I thought about it a lot, and then I thought I would love to use that for my own map. So of course I moved it over to Brandor, but kept a lot of the conventions. Let's choose a province. You can move there. You can find out about the province. Hallenfall. For some reason that's not working. All right, let's move there. So Boars chose to do nothing. So as you can see, I'm moving around, collecting more gold. All right. He's also moving around too. Now we could attack him if we want. So we have 10 troops. He has 12. We have 5 range. He has 2. He's the little fat kid. He says we have 50% chance of victory. Now the little fat kid is a character who has been with us for many, many years. A lot of people ask about him. He's basically the mascot of Whiskey Barrel Studios, even though he doesn't appear on the logo like Mickey Mouse or anything. But he is just a character that I made for a game called Salad Dodger back in the day. And I just kind of loved his irreverence. He basically hates salad, hates anything healthy, espouses the virtue of fast food and eating fried stuff. And he's just basically a naughty kid. He's also a powerful sorcerer, as some of the Swords and Sandals games reveal. He's the host of Tavern Quests, and he's also a thief who appears in Swords and Sandals Medieval and many other games. I'm going to reveal more about him in future games as well, because I think he's kind of hilarious. So, you know, a brawl at Clerg. So we're the kingdom, they're the Sons of Frost. What should we do? We have the Crown Guard, we have the Bowmen, and we have King Lionel. So we use our Crown Guard to attack. All right. Oh, no match. They're no match for us. Skirmish is destroyed. Then the range phase where your archers will attack, and then they don't have any archers, so they won't be attacking us. All right, let's attack again. We can use the king. He has some special powers, but they cost leadership command points. They're kind of fun to do though, so let's slam them with an airstrike. All right, here we go. This is always fun. Boom! That was kind of a minor airstrike because the king isn't that powerful at the moment, but you eventually can get many dragons flying across, and bam! Everybody flies across the screen. All right, now let's move our troops in with a cautious attack. No, normal attack. I think we got him. Oh, yeah. No, I think we won that. 6 hurt versus 8 hurt. 2 dead, no deaths. I think we've got this battle. 2 troops killed, 2 troops injured. Now, the battles in the land battles in this game were actually inspired by a game called The Ancient Art of War from Broderbund. Now that game was made, I believe, in like 1983 or something. Oh, we've got to stop for a dance. All right. Dancing to my own music. God, what a dag. All right. Victory. So yeah, Ancient Art of War was an awesome battle game based on the book The Ancient Art of War by Sun Tzu, the Chinese general. And this game was awesome. It had little black and white armies moving around maps, recreating historical campaigns like the Battle of Redcliffe and Wu vs. Chu, and the campaigns of Geronimo in America, and even Napoleon. And the land battles are really cool. You had barbarians and knights and archers running at each other. And I wanted to recreate some of that little squad-based combat for this game. I changed it to a bit more of a turn-based rather than a real-time battle game, but the idea is the same. Now with Sword and Sandals Pirates, when that comes out later in the year, I'll actually be bringing more of the Ancient Art of War style combat in and merging Crusader and Ancient Art of War into that one, which I think will be kind of fun because they didn't quite get it right in this game. Alright, so we defeated Bors the Mighty in battle and captured the province of Clerg. He flees to his stronghold of Warm Haven. We had 1 casualty, he had 14, so he got absolutely owned. Alright, let's keep going around the map. Now, there's actually a little bug in this version because you can't see how much gold you have. I don't know why that is, but it doesn't appear in the download version. So trust me, we should have enough gold now. Alright, 205 gold pieces earned. You know, it's funny. You make these games years ago, and software changes, browsers change, and so on. And a version that worked perfectly some years ago, for some reason, just doesn't work that well anymore, and little bugs come into it. This even happens in the mobile versions, so I'm always having to patch the games. Because this game was made so many years ago, I no longer support it, but I'm actually looking to make a Redux version next year as well, because so many people ask for it. And I know that the download version you can buy on eGames is pretty bug-free, so if you love this game, you should get it. Support a developer. Swords and sand, you will conquer them all. Alright, if you don't like my singing, leave a comment. If you do like my singing, leave a comment and maybe I'll make an album, huh? That'd be fun. Alright, so when you level up, you can actually increase your skills like leadership or the airstrikes, Colossus Mastery. We don't have a Colossus and we might not get one for a while, so let's keep building up that airstrike and leadership. We can only put one in per turn. Summon critters is always fun too. Mission 2, the Lion Stirs. The latest from the south that ghosts and skeletons have been seen wandering the moors, killing cattle and scaring the bejesus out of villagers. This is deeply troubling for the superstitious folk of the kingdom, who have not seen a war in years. You notice my accent changes when I read this. I start off saying one thing and then decide I don't like the accent and I change it a few times. So there you go. Alright, so the barbarian hordes are still marauding, and we want to try and raise a campaign of army so we can get on with the battle. So here we actually probably want to start buying troops. Right, let's buy some soldiers. So we got 206 gold in the treasury. We can buy some crown guards. 1, 2, 3. So we need 20 of them. And we want to buy some royal champions. 4 of them. Okay. Oh, an archangel. That'd be cool. We can't afford that. He's not available yet, sadly. Alright, let's move. Now, as you conquer each province, you get more gold per turn. So it's worth kind of, in the early days, basically getting as much as the map as you can. Later on in the campaigns, you find more lords are on the board, and they all try to grab your land, and they fortify it. So you basically want to get in early, fortify early. Otherwise, you just find you have a lot of little skirmishes on your hands. When you actually go into different provinces, you can actually dig as well. So let's dig with some treasure. Treasure trove! With vigor and purpose, your army begins to dig. Within hours, they're discovering gems and rare coins. Cool, cool, cool. So we've gained 51 gold pieces from the dig, which will definitely help in our campaign. Right, let's buy some troops. We need some ranged troops as well. Let's get some of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Alright. We may have enough. We need one more infantry, and then we go and attack boars. He's got a castle, which we don't have a catapult, so we can't lay siege to it. Let's move closer. Buy a couple more troops. Get some range guys. Royal champions. They're pretty powerful. They got a lot more offense, a lot more health than the light infantry. And they do more damage. Alright. Morale is important in Swords and Sandals Crusader, because when your morale drops, your pirates, your soldiers start fleeing the game, fleeing the battlefield, and that can be devastating. Lionel is also he's a good leader, so he often doesn't suffer morale problems. But later in the game, when you control people like Chaos, you find morale is a massive issue, because he's just a horrible leader, really. So we've got a campaign army of 9 royal champions. We actually bought some other troops, so we want to move there and then transfer some troops. So we've got the Crown Guard, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 royal champions. Buy some more troops. Crown Bowman, got 2. All right, should we attack him? Yeah, let's do it. Oh, big chance of victory. This is going to be a devastating victory. The early battles are just a bit of a joke. I mean, he's brought 1 troop to the fight. This is a farce. Let's furious attack him. Ferocious attack. It's not fair, is it? Not fair. He should have fled. I didn't really give him the chance, so what are you going to do? You'll notice, speaking of music, you'll notice that there is only ambient noise during the this version of the when you're on the map, and that's because back in the day when I made Flash games, most of the whole game fit in about 800 kilobytes of data. So the files are called Swift files, and they were tiny, compressed almost like a zip file, and you had to combine all these graphics and all the sounds and so on into a file that small, because basically you oh, I took our province, bastard. Because you basically had to transfer on the web, and people had very slow internet connections, and so to download about a megabyte took, you know, a minute or two, and so the games had to be small, and therefore things like soundtracks weren't really a priority. And so if I put a music track in there, it might have added a couple of extra megabytes to the game and another few minutes to load. So sadly there was no music, only small sort of snippets like that. Although I did record that whole instrumental track you heard in the beginning, so if you like that, I will put that on SoundCloud. Alright, he's been encroaching our lands. I'm not super happy about that. Let's buy some more troops. Makes it a bit hard when I can't see how much treasure I've got. It's a bit annoying. Ah, there we go. 283 gold. Let's buy some soldiers. 5 ranged. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got 20 of those. And I think we've got enough. We may actually be victorious. Should we attack him again? Yeah, let's go. I don't know what he's doing. He's got 1 soldier there. Auto battle. Destroyed. Not even worth my time. Army raised. Mission complete. Success. Your campaign army must contain blah blah blah.
Swords and sandals.
When you're a crusader. You know, it's a spin out singing along with your younger self. That was me at age 25, 26. And my voice was better back then, so scary. Alright, we've got the airstrike. I'm kind of stinging for a bigger fight. These kind of little skirmishes are... They teach you the game, but they're not that challenging. So, we want to defeat Bors the Mighty in his campaign armor. We could actually strike hard now and see if we can beat him. This could be a good battle. 55% chance of victory, says the little fat kid. Does he have a voice? What does he sound like? What would he sound like? The odds are slightly in your favor, but you've been known to mess things up in the past, sire. Or wah! That's what he normally sounds like. I got a new baby, and so I'm always putting on voices for the baby, and it does make you a little zany. I gotta tell you. Alright, so this is a decent sized fight. Should we pepper them with an airstrike? Or summon some critters? Let's summon some critters, some bats. Oh, they're birds. Ravens. Now, as you can see from the blood, they injured a few of the troops, but they're stronger than the birds. So, a couple of troops injured, a couple of troops injured on our side. Let's send in the riffraff, the crown guard, basic infantry troops. Very disposable. Ah! The Sons of Frost Wives, the Valkyries, cause a bit of damage for us. In between each phase, the archers will shoot each other, so it's really good to have ranged troops. It's a simple tactical game, but sometimes simple tactics can be, you know, a lot of fun. Sometimes you don't need that many options. Like, you know, think of chess. Chess has just 8 characters, each with 1 move, and there's infinite possibilities. Alright, let's send in the heavy cavalry. Actually, no, we don't have cavalry yet. These are just the heavy armor. The cavalry troops are awesome because they ride right through. Ferocious attack. They've sent their heavy cavalry as well. It's going to be a tough battle. Oh! Yeah, evenly matched. What do you reckon, another airstrike? Or an airstrike? Now, both our morale is wavering, so I could use some leadership on them. What do you think? Lionel comes out. Steady yourself, brothers. We shall not falter. Everyone's inspired. You know, you got to build that morale up, because if your troops flee, they're basically lost for the battle. The only army that doesn't have a morale problem is Emperor Antares. While I'm here, I should tell you a bit more about Emperor Antares. He was, of course, the last boss in Sword and Sandals 2 Emperor's reign, and he built a big skeleton army, which actually from all the dead gladiators, and he uses that army to start this crusade. And he basically means to sweep through Brandor and take over the realm. Now, he is basically an undead necromancer who was a very handsome man in his youth, and when his mother died, he tried to bring her back to life and failed, and always then became obsessed with the quest for eternal life. And now, as he got older and his magic grew more powerful, his beautiful face grew uglier and basically wasted away. And when he finally discovered the secret for eternal life, he became a skeleton lord and was forced to wear a mask, a shroud and a mask to hide his face because he was so ashamed of his once beautiful face. Now, in Crusader, the armies must band together to fight him. Chaos and Arglaxx team up with them, but the other forces work against him. King Lionel, Belgrave, Wolfgang, even the Iron Republic have some battles against him. And the Sons of Frost are in it for their own various purposes. I think we've got this battle. They seem to be losing. They're down to the last couple of troops. Got enough for an airstrike? No. Let's get in there with the cavalry, the heavy artillery. Yeah. All dead. All dead. We are victorious! That was easy. To be honest, the game's been really easy so far. But it gets kind of cool once you get other lords in there because they're fighting against themselves. You're fighting wars on many fronts. Bors the Mighty has been vanquished. Mission complete. Level 4. What else we have? Offensive tactics. Yeah, that makes you a little bit more skilled. Mission 4, search for the angel. So we've got to find the Book of Sandalphon. Now this is a quest that many people struggled with. The Archangel Sandalphon was one of the arena champions from Sword and Sandals 2. And he's a good guy. He actually is instrumental in defeating Bargle because he gets in defeating Antares because he gets Bargle the sorcerer involved and grants you the power that you need to defeat Antares. Now, in this game, each army has a powerful titan called the Colossus, a big giant that if once you can find, you can summon them to battle. Now, this is the first appearance of Arglaxx. Oh, cool. In this game, like in most of the Sword and Sandals games, there's lots of mini adventures. Often they're choose your own adventure style quests which give you an option. In Crusader, there were merely little text boxes with a paragraph that told you about what was happening and then other positive or negative thing happened. Now we've gained a catapult, which is great because I actually want to show you a siege. You were approached by a tall, strapping woman with shoulders broad and a wide stance. Your catapults could barely knock down a house of cards. Oh. She presents you with a sturdy, masterfully crafted new catapult. Don't thank me, she says. My husband is a soldier. I don't want him dying because of your ineptitude. Thanks, I guess. I'm not inept. I've won every battle. Come on. Alright, so we could hunt around for ages on this map because there's 30 odd provinces, but I actually know where the book is hidden, and I believe it's either in the Akash Steppes or the Akmagius. Let's head down there and dig. Arglaxx is a bit tougher than Bors, so we got to avoid him. Dig for treasure. The artifact you are searching for is not here. Okay, but I think it's in the other one. It's been a long time. A long time. Alright, try here. Because once you get the Colossus, they kick ass. They're seriously powerful. Yes, you've discovered the Book of Sandalphon. An easy mission when you know where it is, but if you don't know where it is, you can search around for ages, and meanwhile Arglaxx becomes more powerful and can destroy your own castle. Ah, we didn't get to do a siege. Maybe next battle. When you're a crusader. War drums, cool. Okay, now we actually need to destroy the beast force with our siege engine. This, I believe, is the last mission in the first chapter. And now there's 8 chapters, so it's a pretty big game, and the missions get a lot bigger than this. We actually have to take down Arglaxx, who was the Beast Lord Overlord of the Swords and Sandals 2 arena in Doomtrek, and then he rebelled with his evil simian minions from the desert, and he causes a lot of trouble. He appears in Swords and Sandals Pirates too as well, which is kind of cool. You got all these gorillas and rhesus monkeys and chimpanzees and so on, all attacking. So we need a siege engine. We have a Colossus, I believe. Let's move around the map, get as many provinces as we can, get a lot of gold. Boars is involved as well, which is trouble. So now we're fighting a war on 2 fronts. And none of our lands are protected. See how he's put all those little flags on the map? You can actually fortify your maps by transferring troops there. So if we transfer one of our armies... Oh, we've got an Archangel. Cool. Archangel? I think it's Archangel. I'm being an idiot. Of course it's Archangel. Alright, so we now have a flag there. So if he tries to attack that province, he will rue the day. Shall we attack Arglax's home fortress? I think we should. He might have left it undefended, but he's protected it. So we might have a couple of battles along the way. Can we buy some troops? We've got plenty of gold. Let's get some Silver Circle Knights. That'd be cool. Do we have a catapult? No, damn it. I spent my money on the knights. So let's keep attacking. He's got some troops there, but they're not super powerful, so we can take the field. You know, back in the day, you could do a lot with Flash. You got all these little characters, you have snow effects and so on. Everything's animated. Even with the software I'm using now, I find it can be more tricky to recreate these effects. That's how cool Flash was back in the day. In case you can't tell, I really miss Flash. Alright. Ferocious attack with the cavalry. Yeah. Baboon Lord's slain. Five troops injured. Look at our Archangel. Should we take him out? Yeah, let's bring him out. Ferocious attack. You don't want him to die though, because you might need him against their Archangel. Archangel, damn it. No, he didn't think he could. No. Flee, little monkeys. Flee while you have a chance. One little monkey left. Flee. Airstrike? Yeah, let's give him an airstrike. That's overkill. That's got to be overkill. Alright. Poor bastard. Arglaxx and the Beastman are kind of based on the Planet of the Apes thing, although he himself is sort of half wolf, half dog, kind of humanoid. He's very intelligent though for an ape. So we move forward. We need 100 gold. Oh, Arglaxx moves upon us with his one troop. He's not going to beat us. Let's auto battle that. We repelled his forces. Meanwhile, Balls is hanging around up there. How much money do we have? 71. So a couple more turns we should be able to buy a catapult and lay siege to him. So we will move to the Katash Desert. Take the field. They've got their own rhino who's kind of tough and a gorilla, but we are outnumbering them still. So we'll pepper them with the airstrike. Oh, they lost their rhino. Damn, lost their cavalry. He's trying to boost their morale with some war drums. Alright. Cavalry again. Full tilt. Okay. Arglaxx hasn't shown his face around. I'm looking forward to meeting him in the siege. Oh, how'd they survive? One bow macaque versus 5 infantry and he survived. I feel like we should keep him alive. Nah. Too late. Victory! So, how much gold do we have? Let's try and digging. Your armory tolls for days and days in the heat of the sun, but to no avail. Several coins and small jewels are collected, but you discover little to raise a cheer about. 6 gold. It might be enough. See, he really could attack our castle if he wanted to. He's not as smart as Hikaos and Antares, whose AI is much cleverer and much more aggressive. So, we got enough. Buy a catapult, some more bowmen, and we're ready to go. Yeah, let's lay siege. Sieges are kind of cool. Sieges were based on Defender of the Crown as well. Although in Defender of the Crown, it was a front-on perspective. In ours, it's a side-on perspective, and it's a little bit more reflex-based. Ooh, big chance of victory. Oh, they've only got 10 light infantry. What's Arglaxx? After I was saying what a good commander he was, he's only left 10 troops there. But he will be attacking our army while we try and lay siege to him. So you basically have to time it so you can destroy their walls. But meanwhile, they will be launching arrows at us. They've only got a couple of troops, and so they're not really... yeah, so they're killing us slowly. So you've got a limited amount of time to try and get a wall breach. Okay, front wall hit. A few more of those. If you destroy the towers, you destroy their bowmen, which is cool because then they can kill your armies. Tower hit. Too much. It's a little mini game. It's not the greatest, but it can be kind of tense when you're trying to take them out and you keep missing and your army is dwindling in size. It can mean a very poor siege. Nearly there. You can also change your catapults. There we go. Now we can storm into the castle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2. What is he doing? He knew we were advancing. Alright, no mercy. Archangel, get out there. I really wish I could have shown you a 2 Colossus battle, because that would have been a lot of fun. They meet in the middle and it's like a big pro wrestling match and it's heavy metal music and so on. But unfortunately, they didn't put up a fight. We've now taken out his castle. He's been defeated and thrown from power. So we win this game. Arglax's home castle at Taj Brandir has fallen. He will take no further part in this campaign. Mission complete!
Swords and Sandals.
When you're a crusader, you will conquer them all. Alright, chapter 2, which is details Sir Belgrave's quest. I might do one more mission and then leave it there. I hope you have gotten a pretty good idea of the game. It's pretty fun. Oh, that's the end anyway. That's the end of the demo version. The full version itself has all 8 missions plus the different survival modes and so on. Actually, you know what we can do now? I wonder... Let's play a quick game of survival and see how we go. So we will choose Arglaxx and choose normal difficulty. Now the aim of survival is you want to defeat all 8 leaders, but with each new battle you don't keep, your troops stay the same, so any troops you lose don't come back. So you really want to be conservative in how you... So we've got a cool big primate. Let's send him out there. Smash! Based on King Kong, of course. If our primate gets injured and killed, he doesn't come back as well. And eventually you have to fight larger and larger creatures. And at the end, I think there's a giant half tarantula, half Shih Tzu dog called a Shih Tzu tarantula. Haha. But he's devastating. So we'll see how far we get. So we didn't lose any troops in that fight, which is great.
Swords and Sandals.
and we will build up our airstrike. Take down King Lionel, who of course beat us in our campaign mission. His army's a bit bigger, and so it becomes more challenging for you. Airstrike. What's he gonna do? You know, it's funny, you don't see that many simple army games. Most of these strategic army games like Total War and things like that, they're awesome, but they're very complicated. I really love battle games, but I like them to be quite simple because I just have limited time these days. And so games like this and that new one that was released from the FTL guys, Into the Breach, I really like that kind of turn-based strategy game. That it's complicated, but not overly... it's challenging, but not overly complicated in that you don't need to learn too many systems to get to play it. I feel bad taking on my old army. They deserve better. Oh, he's cast an airstrike, which is not great because our army is slowly getting a bit weaker. Alright, we're victorious. Now we'll build up our airstrike. Take on Boars the Mighty. Oh, poor Paulo Barbarian. Deserved better. Let's send our Baboon Lords in. So you notice our troops are slowly dwindling. We haven't really fought the hard battles yet, though. Alright. Oh, I sent my range troops in. That's silly. You really want to try and avoid sending the range troops in if you can. Now, many of these sprites and so on, I mean, I drew them all by hand. I'm actually going to be bringing them back for Swords and Sandals Pirates and redrawing them so they fit with the Pirates universe. So the monkeys might have little eye patches and bandanas on their heads and that kind of thing. The Sons of Frost do not appear in Swords and Sandals Pirates, but a rival army called the Tribes of Etania with Olaf the Unhinged will be appearing. Now, Olaf and the Tribes of Etania, between Pirates and Crusaders, are defeated by Boars the Mighty in battle. So that's why we don't see Olaf in Crusader. Keep going. So, in the full version of the game, you actually can fight a lot more different armies. And you notice we're only fighting the same few armies in this. It's because it's the demo version. You know, it's funny. There's a lot of people hated the fact that I used to put demos up. It was a business decision, not necessarily my own, but I kind of understood it. Back in the day when shareware was a very popular thing, you really wanted people to be able to try out the game, and if they liked it, buy the full game. And that's how I kind of make my games now for mobile. People still complain. You're getting a free game. If you like it, buy the full version. If you don't, you don't have to. But back in the day of Flash games, people did not want to pay for things. And so I used to get a lot of nasty emails and so on. But people still bought it, which was good. You know, I really do appreciate over the years the support for the games and the people that have bought and played and sent me letters and so on. Airstrike! Alright, let's send in the Primate. Ah, devastating. Alright, you know, I think I might, these battles are going to keep going, so I might actually leave it there for now, because I think you've got a pretty good idea of what the game's all about, and that's all I can really think of trivia-wise for now. I hope you had fun. I had fun playing it. I apologize for my singing. This was an interesting game to make. It took about 6, 7 months. I think I said six of what I think it was closer to seven, and not without its challenges. But the end result was quite a popular game that, although I never made a sequel for, is inspired Sword and Sandals Pirates, and I'm looking forward to bringing that out for you later this year. And I'm going to have some more gameplay footage of that in a month or two. And the next Let's Play video I do will be of another classic arcade game. I'm thinking it will probably be the awesome Wonder Boy in Monsterland, which is one of my favorites. If you like these videos, please subscribe and like and leave comments. I know every YouTuber tells you this, but they do mean a lot. And the more subscribers I have, the more videos I can make, and the more content you can get. Thanks for spending your morning or evening with me, and until next time. Oh, just quickly, you can get Sword and Sandals Crusader from eGames. eGames are, of course, my publisher, and I've been working with them to bring you the Sword and Sandals Redux series. They're a great bunch of guys, and they sell the original versions of Sword and Sandals 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and... No, not 5, Crusader. And I do the Redux versions, which you can buy on Steam and iOS and Android. So once again, thanks for spending your time with me, and until next time, bye for now.